Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, helping you raise your vibration so you can live your best life. Let's talk today about what happens when life gets difficult. When it seems that all of the astrology aspects are working against you, or maybe everything in your life seems to be falling apart, even though it's falling into place. It doesn't really make it any easier when you are in those moments of just feeling like this is just too much. When you feel that system overwhelm, where there's just seemingly nowhere to turn and no way out, no way to make it feel better. And I will say, from a psychological standpoint, there is a hierarchy in the systems that are activated when we are experiencing either good or difficult times. That the rest and digest state in the parasympathetic nervous system, when that is turned on, it is the highest priority as long as we are in a calm and safe place to be able to do that. But what happens when things are not calm and things are not easy or simple? We are activating the fight or flight mechanism. But what many don't know is when that doesn't work, when we can't fight or flight, we can't run from our problems, there is another stage, and that is shutdown, system overwhelm. And oftentimes people can feel that there's something wrong with me. Why can't I make things happen? And it really does come from a place of feeling overwhelmed, like we just can't take any more. Sometimes it feels like there's just no way out, there's nothing that can be done. And in those times, it can be very difficult to keep the faith. And oftentimes we even question, what's the point of all this? Why even do this? Is it ever going to get easier? Is it just me? Right? We can feel like there is a, I don't want to say a curse, but it's sort of a an inevitability to life always being this way. And we can question, what is the point of it all? Do I have to continue to struggle for the rest of my life? And oftentimes, when we have reached that point of overwhelm and system shutdown, we're too tired to really do anything. We're knowing in the prefrontal cortex of all the things that we're supposed to be doing, but our system has said, too much, no more. And there is no resisting that. There's no pulling yourself up by the bootstraps or making it happen. And even if we know that good things are coming and the divine is in charge and this is just one moment in time that seems challenging, it can sometimes feel too big. We can feel like it's completely up to us to make things happen and we're all on our own. It can feel very overwhelming, very lonely. And that is almost sometimes too much to bear. The brain's job is to keep you safe, so it says, we're not going to look at that anymore. The nervous system says, I've got too much, I can't handle anymore, we're going to shut down. You may even get sick. It's a reminder that sometimes we have to put on the brakes, we have to pause, we have to rest. And I don't know about you, but in those times where I'm being forced to rest, it can feel like it's futile. Like, why can't I make this happen? I'm going to be here forever. And the fact of the matter is, the answer to this, while it's simple in its physical ask, it is actually one of the most difficult things for us to do, and that is just to surrender. To surrender to whatever illness is overcoming your body to force you to rest. To surrender to the pause in whatever efforts you have been moving towards, whatever goals you've set for yourself. To surrender to what is and to love what is. To have faith and trust that you are still being cared for just as much now in this moment as when you were being productive. That we have to cultivate that belief. And oftentimes in those moments where it is most difficult and we choose to believe anyways, we choose to surrender and love what is anyways, that's when the roots go really deep. That's when the foundation gets a whole lot stronger. We have to remember it's not up to us. We are not alone in this. That we are loved deeply, and that it is that faith and that trust and that surrender that's going to keep everything moving in the right direction. That when we believe that it's up to us to keep everything from falling apart, we think that we are the only viable option. We are the only one that is going to be able to make things happen. We're trying to do God's job. And we only cause more trouble for ourselves, especially in those moments when we're already tired. We allow the wheels of the negative thinking to go round and round, beating you up, telling you you'll never succeed, you always fail, you never finish. And it's in those moments when we choose surrender, we choose to love what is, we choose trust and faith, that we put a stop to those negative loops that beat us up. We flick off that trauma demon and say, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Surrender means to put down the resistance to what is. So notice in those moments where your system has shut down and told you no more, what causes the pain is the resistance to the shutdown. It says, I must be doing more. That there is ease in the release when we trust and allow and give it to the divine. To love what is means to not try to change it. And oftentimes the tendency will be to move towards distraction or avoidance. Pick up the phone or watch a TV show or just distract ourselves so that we're not looking at how we're feeling and what's coming up for us. And that's how we keep the trauma in us. That's how we keep those stuck emotions in us, but is by avoidance and distraction and running away. So we have to build the muscle of presence, the muscle of being, which means to be present in the discomfort, to not be looking to the external stimuli or distraction, but to go within and say, I find where my body is uncomfortable right now. I find where the illness is trying to take over my body. I find where I struggle with the stillness, with the rest, with the shutdown. Find in your body what is calling your attention and asking for your presence. Exercise that muscle. This is not glamorous, it's not sexy, it's not new, and you're going to say, I heard this already. But the truth is, if you're still struggling with that, if you're still struggling in those moments of shutdown, if you're still restless and moving towards distraction or running away, you might know it here, but we are not embodying it. And that's what requires, or what is required to move to the next level. To sit in the discomfort and marinate in it and know that it will not remain uncomfortable for very long as you're present with it. In fact, it will move out very quickly the more time you spend with it. And it doesn't mean regretting the past or worrying about the future. It means being in your body, present in the now. And I don't know about you, is one of my challenges is sometimes the work, right? It seems justifiable, all the house chores that need to be done, all the laundry that needs to be done, the work that needs to be done. It's an easy distraction to satisfy that need to be productive. But I just keep driving down my body, my connection, my energetic stores. And the belief is that sometimes it's more fun to open another book or read another lesson or watch another YouTube video that teaches me something, and that's great. I love learning. I'm not in any way discouraging that, but sometimes that's not what's called for. And though that may seem more exciting and more entertaining, we need to find the entertainment in our internal energetic environment. That it can be really fun and fascinating to be present with the sensations in the body. It can be really fun and fascinating to just sit in stillness and watch as those thoughts come. And I've recently actually also learned for me that fighting the thoughts that come is not necessarily helpful. Yes, we want to still the mind and we want to prevent negative thought loops that continue and continue and continue. But if there are thoughts that come to you, they are asking for your attention for a reason. And it's fun to not attach to them, to just see them and say, oh, I see you. Thank you for the gift that you are bringing me right now. And watch how that works itself out. Watch how your guides, your angels, the divine come in and work in you, in the energy in you. That can be very entertaining. It's telling ourselves a new story that we don't need to be entertained with external things, that we can be entertained with our internal energetic environment. So let's stop running away from the discomfort. Let's recognize the system overwhelm as a signal that we need to be calm. And I think the most important strategies here are surrender, trust, and faith. Anchoring in where you are at now. And that's another way of saying presence. But just looking at this is where I am and be in it. Be fully committed to I'm in overwhelm. I'm in exhaustion. I'm in shutdown. That's where I am, and that's okay. I love what is. And then rest in the stillness in that. Navigate the internal environment. Navigate the energies that are available in that moment. And know that they're not always going to be on the highest level of the consciousness scale. That all emotions are good. All emotions are there to serve you and to guide you. And then just observe and be present with those energies. With gratitude and awe, curiosity. It can be fun. So, while it may not be sexy, it may not be revolutionary, I do know it is life-changing. And that if we continue to avoid and distract and try not to be in this place that we're being asked to be in, we perpetuate it. We put it back on the docket for the next time, and then just keep bringing up that lesson over and over and over until we are ready to move through it. And I also know that when you are being asked to learn something new, if surrender, non-resistance, loving what is, trust and faith, if these are lessons that are coming to you or you're being asked to learn, of course there are going to be new levels of challenge or trial or test, if you will. It's not, it's not like a trick question, but we want to, they, he, she, it, they, them, all of the universe needs to make sure, we need to make sure, our higher selves need to make sure that we have mastered this. So they're going to step it up. Say, oh, you thought you were going to surrender? You thought you had surrendered everything? How about this? How about just a little bit more? And it cracks us wide open. And we feel like, I have nothing left. And I'm still going to choose to surrender. I'm still going to choose trust and faith. I still know that I am cared for. It's not an easy one, but when you move through it, the reward is worth it. Okay. I know it's a little bit on the serious side. I don't want to be too heavy. I would prefer to play, but sometimes there is a theme that is obviously coming up for not only myself, but for the collective, and it's important to speak to that and to offer support and guidance and camaraderie, right? We're all in this together. All right, so please do like, subscribe, and share. If you could leave me just a little emoji comment, that would be amazing. It's super helpful for the YouTube algorithm. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Please do make sure you click this button to subscribe or click this button if you'd like to hear more today. All right, take care. Namaste, my friends.